You're not lazy, you're haunted by who you had to become just to survive. Maybe no one's ever said that to you before, because the world sees you frozen and thinks you're unmotivated. You miss deadlines, leave texts unread, stare at the ceiling as life keeps demanding your presence. And somewhere deep down, maybe even you have started to believe you're the problem, that something in you is broken, unwilling, or defective. But you are not defective. You're defending yourself from a life that never felt safe enough to be fully alive in. That paralysis, that constant pushing everything till tomorrow ache, it's not laziness, it's a soul that learned to hide in the shadows because exposure, visibility, ambition, they once came with punishment. You see, procrastination doesn't always come from distraction. It often comes from pain, a deep cellular memory that success will cost you something, that failure will humiliate you, that trying might reveal you're not good enough. And so you freeze, not because you don't care, but because your body remembers a time when showing up was dangerous. This is the wound of the false self. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear for the world. But some of us, we didn't just wear it, we became it. The perfectionist child, the peacemaker in the middle of chaos, the achiever who was only loved when they won, the invisible one who made silence a strategy for survival. And now, you wake up adult-sized with a schedule full of tasks, but no voice strong enough to override the shadow that whispers, "Don't try, they will see you." Byung-Chul Han calls this the exhaustion of self. Burnout, yes, but spiritual, existential, a kind of erosion that happens when we live too long as someone we're not. You go to bed tired, but not from doing too much, from pretending too much. Maybe this is resonating, maybe it's pressing on something unspoken in you. Let me tell you a story. There's a man, let's call him Elias. Elias was a brilliant boy, quick with numbers, sharp with words, but every time he made a mistake, his father's silence turned the room to ice. And every time he succeeded, he was told, "Of course, that's expected." No celebration, no warmth, just a higher bar. So Elias adapted. He chased gold stars like air. He learned that excellence was armor, that achievement kept the silence at bay. But as he grew older, the joy faded. He procrastinated, self-sabotaged, froze in front of opportunities, not because he was lazy, but because every part of his nervous system believed success meant more pressure, more isolation, more self-erasure. Elias isn't rare. He's a mirror. We've all got versions of him in us. Karen Horney would say this is the neurotic pursuit of the ideal self, not out of joy but anxiety. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse trauma management for personality. You'll think this is who you are, when really it's just who you had to be to stay safe. And let's be honest, you probably have a to-do list that makes you sigh before you've even had coffee. Not because it's hard, but because part of you doesn't believe you deserve ease. You were raised on the religion of effort, conditioned to believe that struggle is proof of virtue, that rest is laziness, and desire is selfish. So you shrink, you delay, you dream in silence, you work in bursts, then collapse, and no one sees the war you're fighting just to begin. But what if you could just begin again? Not by becoming more disciplined, but by becoming more honest. What if you asked, whose voice am I afraid to disappoint? What if my avoidance isn't resistance, but grief? What part of me believes I have to earn the right to rest? Simone Weil once said, "Attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity, and maybe what you need right now is your own attention, not scrutiny, not blame, just a quiet noticing of what hurts and why. You're not lazy, you're traumatized, you're tired, you're learning how to come home to a self that was buried under years of expectations, under years of noise and performance. You are not a machine in need of optimization. You are a soul in need of safety, and safety begins with telling the truth. You do not have to work yourself into worthiness. You do not have to delay joy until you feel like you've earned it. What you need is a gentle place to land, a room inside yourself where your past selves can finally exhale. Because here's the quiet paradox: the more you bully yourself into action, the more your spirit resists. But the moment you start leading with compassion, everything softens, motion returns, desire becomes direction. This is what Viktor Frankl meant when he said that meaning is born through suffering, not as a reward, but as a transformation. Your pain has shaped your patterns, but it doesn't have to write your future. Let yourself feel the grief of who you had to become. Let yourself meet the younger you hiding beneath the procrastination. Let yourself forgive the freeze response that once saved your life. And then let yourself move, not with pressure, however, but with presence. A soft start is still a start. Now let me ask you something and answer honestly in the comments. What version of yourself are you still trying to outgrow? Is it the overachiever, the people pleaser, the self-saboteur, the tired one who thinks they had to do it all alone? Let this be the day you name it, not to shame it, but to free it. You are allowed to rewrite the story. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to receive without suffering first. Rumi said, "Don't move the way fear makes you move. Move the way love makes you move." And that's the shift. From fear to love, from hiding to honesty, from performance to peace. You're not lazy, you're just learning how to feel safe, being seen, and that takes time. Maybe it's not about pushing harder, maybe it's about listening softer. If something in this video found you, stayed with you, unsettled something you couldn't name, don't rush to fix it, just be with it, let it breathe. And if you want more moments like this, quiet truths that hold you with care, you're welcome to stay. Subscribe to the channel, not for noise, but for meaning. Until next time, rest like you deserve to. You always have.